The 1992 animated Little Mermaid is directed by Chinami Namba and Masazuka Higuchi. I apologize if I've mispronounced those names. And unfortunately, I don't have any information about the voice cast. That information is not on IMDb, so if anybody can confirm any of that information, please feel free to share. This is produced by Goodtimes Entertainment and Golden Films, and it is, of course, based on the story by Hans Christian Andersen. This is written by Jack Olesker, and this is the story of a mermaid called Lena. And Lena eventually wants to be up on land with the prince. In general, it has most of the hallmarks of the classic Little Mermaid story. It is recognisable as the Little Mermaid, but it's not perfect. I will say, though, the animation is rather pleasant. It has a lovely nostalgic feel to it. I've never seen this version before, but just the animation style itself felt really warm and fuzzy and inviting. It felt very nostalgic, and I really thoroughly enjoyed that. We have some really lovely music. Lena has a pet called Vink, who is absolutely adorable. And then we have the story. The initial pacing was good, it got off to a good start, and then nothing happens for most of the film. And then the last 10 minutes were so rushed. It is unbelievable. The film itself is under an hour. So they absolutely could have made this a more traditional feature-length film of, let's say, an hour and 20 minutes, and they could have easily expanded. Well, I say easily, maybe this was commissioned for a 1-hour TV time slot. I have no idea. Maybe there is a specific reason why it was the 50 minutes rather than a longer film. If it was commissioned for that time slot, fair enough. But at the same time, that's still no excuse for rushing those last 10 minutes and basically packing all of the interesting things into those last 10 minutes. And I won't say what those things are, just in case you're not familiar with the story and you want to watch it. But when you watch it, hopefully you'll know what I mean. And if you're familiar with the story, I think you'll be able to identify what I'm talking about, hopefully. And in general, it was just a really poor decision. So it either should have happened, the events of the last 10 minutes should have happened much sooner. Since nothing happens for the bulk of the middle, there is no reason why it couldn't have happened sooner. Or if it was an option, it should have been a longer film. But again, if it was created specifically for a 1-hour TV time slot, then okay, I can understand that. I don't know if that's the case. So the pacing was pretty terrible. After an initial strong start, it completely fell apart. The core elements of the Little Mermaid story are there still, so it is recognisable as the Little Mermaid. Lena as a character is perfectly likeable, and Vink is absolutely adorable. The other characters, absolutely fine, and the animation and music are both really lovely. The biggest issue is simply the pacing, but I have to say it is so poor that it is kind of a big issue. Do I recommend it? Only if you're an existing Little Mermaid fan. If you've never seen The Little Mermaid for whatever reason and you've never read it, please don't make this your introduction. My top recommendation will always be Disney's classic animation, but there are other animated versions out there, other live-action versions out there, if you want to enjoy the story, but for whatever reason you don't want to watch a Disney film. So I don't recommend this one as an introduction, but if you're an existing Little Mermaid fan and you want to see how they handle the story, then by all means give it a go. It ticks every single box apart from the pacing. But I think the pacing is so poor that that's kind of a big issue. Did I enjoy it? I enjoyed the experience of seeing what it was like. I didn't necessarily like the storytelling, but I liked the animation and I liked the characters. I don't regret the time spent watching it, but there is significant room for improvement with the pacing. If you're an existing Little Mermaid fan, check it out, let me know what you think. If you're new to The Little Mermaid and you want to watch a version, again, I haven't read the book, so I don't know how true it is, but I've seen a lot of other versions, of course, and Disney's classic animation will always be the top recommendation. I say that as somebody who isn't that bothered about that film. I watched it growing up, but it was never a favourite. But I still think it is the creme de la creme of Little Mermaid adaptations. But one day, I might find one that I think is superior. I'm always open to recommendations. And for now, if you're an existing Little Mermaid fan, I guess I'm happy to recommend the 1992 version if you want to see what it's like.